You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Thanks.
This is the first time you saw this, or have you watched this before?
This being Showdown in Little Tokyo,
Yeah.
it is the first time I've ever seen it. It's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
the first time I've heard of it until you had mentioned
Yeah.
watching it and doing this thing.
Yeah, I saw this as a kid. We knew Dolph Lundgren from He-Man. He was kind of like a big star from He-Man and the Rocky movies.
Yeah, Rocky 4, that's where I knew him from.
Yeah. And I think we knew Brandon Lee from Kung Fu.
I saw him in The Crow, but...
That was after this, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was prior. I think it was 91. The Crow was 94, 95?
Something like that.
Something like that. Who knows?
It was directed by Mark Lester, the guy who did Commando. Have you seen Commando?
I have. That's
Which,
an
like-
epic Arnold,
Yeah, this feels like it's made by the director of Commando.
A lot of explosions, someone picking up a car and flipping it over with their muscles, shooting, a lot of shooting. Like, I think this guy, he knows how to capture people shooting guns. There's so much gunplay and explosions. It does all the action things,
Yeah. Yeah, the number one thing I remember about this as a kid is that the title was super similar to Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
Which I thought was interesting. And then I remember there was a scene where they're in a club and like they're eating sushi off of naked women.
Yes.
Which I don't know if that's a real thing to this day. It seems super impractical. But
yeah, I mean, they wouldn't be the best serving plate. They
it would
would
definitely explain why every time I eat raw fish, I get an erection.
Sure.
But I think it warps my child's mind.
I get it for other reasons, boners.
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
when I eat sushi.
So, I mean,
It's the mercury.
Yeah, the mercury gets you hard?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. So, the performances aren't terrible, but Dolph Lundgren is obviously not an American who grew up in Japan. He doesn't have an American accent or a Japanese accent.
I think he actually was born in Japan.
Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah, he's actually Japanese.
Oh, really?
No, he's Swedish.
Yeah. He really is a 9-foot-tall Japanese man.
Yes, exactly.
9-foot-tall blonde Japanese man.
He's Swedish, but he actually did study martial arts since the time he was 14. I think he won't let anyone forget.
Yeah, he's a real martial artist, and also he's like a genius. He like studied like chemical engineering. Right?
Is that right? That's cool.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it says here he received a degree in chemical engineering from KTH Royal Institute of Technology.
Where's that?
I have no idea.
Is that American or no?
I don't know. That might be in Sweden. Also, he has a master's degree in chemical engineering from the University of Sydney. Mm-hmm. He holds the rank of fourth rank black belt at the Kyushin Karate.
Okay, well, I did know he was a black belt.
Yeah. But what's most interesting about Dolph Lundgren is that like he started his career as a bodyguard for Grace Jones.
Okay.
And then he started fucking her and became a huge movie star.
Wow. It as easy as that.
I guess so.
All you got to do is be born really buff and huge. He was born that way.
Yeah.
And then, he just
the guy,
sleep your way to the top.
He's a genius karate master who fucked his way to the top.
Beautiful.
And I respect that.
Yeah. This guy has all the respect in the world, and that's why I watched the whole movie.
Yeah.
All 71 minutes of it. 79 minutes of it.
Yeah, it's very short.
So short.
It feels like it was obviously like chopped to shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because the guy who was murdered at the beginning, in every other scene when all the whole gang's back together,
Yeah. Who, Tanaka?
Is that the guy who dies at the beginning?
The guy who owns the club, who they steal the club from. Basically, what happens in the movie is the Yakuza comes in from Japan and starts taking over the crime world in L.A.
Right.
And they take this guy's club. They take his beer company.
Right.
His name's Tanaka. He looks like a 14-year-old boy, and he dresses like my mom would in 1992.
Yeah, it's a good look.
Yeah. Good look.
Oh,
the good look in this movie are the Japanese gangsters wearing the big, like, 1950s suits.
Oh, yeah, zoot suits. Yeah, just
that's a fucking look, dude.
There. Yeah.
I want to be a small Asian man in an oversized yellow suit.
Driving around in your, like, 1940s convertible.
Yeah, like a 1950s fucking Chevy Bel Air, just getting sucked off by Tia Carrera in a fucking zoot suit.
While you shoot Uzis for, like, 3 clips too long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there inconsistencies in the amount of bullets that people have in this film?
No, it's accurate. I'm pretty sure Dolph Lundgren shoots at least 17 times out of his 9-clip, his 9-bullet Beretta there, whatever the hell he's got.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think he's got an eagle.
Yeah. So like the relationship is between Brandon Lee's character, I guess it's Johnny Murata, and Kenner, Lundgren's character.
Right. It's a buddy cop film.
Yeah, it's a buddy cop film. It's pretty fucking formulaic and terrible.
They don't like each other at the beginning, and by the end,
but they become friends pretty quickly.
Oh yeah,
it's really like one scene.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like I don't like you, and I don't like you. We don't like each other. That means we like each other.
Yeah, yeah. And then they're immediately friends. Yeah. There are some homoerotic undertones. Like Brandon Lee's character seems to really appreciate the size of Dolph Lundgren's penis.
Oh yeah, he's even stops. You know, the last thing he's gonna say before he dies is, "Hey man, you got the biggest dick I've ever seen." On a man. He specifically says biggest dick on a man. So he might have seen bigger dicks on like, in
Little Tokyo he's seen bigger dicks on trans women.
Yes,
but
definitely.
as far as men go, Dolph Lundgren is the biggest he's seen. And that seems kind of offensive. It seems like there's a theme in the movie about the Japanese men aren't virile, like the Kerry, what's his name? The Funika Yoshida character.
The really big bad guy?
Yeah, he's like an impotent sociopath.
Sure, yeah.
And he might be my favorite part of the film.
He's definitely the most intense actor.
Yeah.
Who's actually
brutal.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like hamming it up, and he's there to be a total, just brutal asshole.
Yeah, I'm going to try to say the actor's name, Kerry Hiroku Tagawa, and he played Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movies.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's where
He's been in a lot of stuff. And his character's name is Funika Yoshida.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, his character is fucking brutal, right? Like he
he like starts having sex with a prostitute. He like makes her smoke a bunch of like meth. Yeah. And then he like just slices her head off while he's coming or whatever.
He's got like a voyeur thing too. He likes to like film it.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
He really liked to film it, and so he's got all sorts of evidence against him, but he's Yakuza, so he doesn't think anyone's going to ever use the evidence against him.
Yeah.
Just slice the head off when he's fucking him.
In line with like action movie cliches, when Dolph Lundgren's character finally meets, Yoshida, it's when they first arrest the first Yakuza guy. Mm-hmm. He sees the claw on his chest, and it gives him like a flashback to his parents' death. Right. Which is like a pretty ham-handed flashback that you've seen a million times. Sure. And it's really hilarious too, because there's some like buck-toothed kid playing Dolph Lundgren. He's like, no.
Well, his parents are just getting brutally slaughtered.
Don't kill my mom and dad while your penis is soft.
I will kill him with the softest penis as I need.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how to get hard, kid.
Yeah, and I guess who else is in the cast? Tia Carrera, who I guess is most well known for the Wayne's World movies.
Wayne's World, that's what I was thinking. But she's been in like so many other things.
Yeah, she's so hot.
Babe.
She's so hot and like insanely talented, can like sing and act, and has like model good looks. So I don't know, I feel like if she was born like 20 years later, she probably would have been a huge star. Mm-hmm. But she was pretty much just like the novelty hot Asian chick in Hollywood for like 10 years.
Which is unfortunate, because I think she was shown in all the roles,
Yeah, and that's definitely not her naked. It's like,
oh no, it's definitely
so
1,000% a body double. Where it's like, well, it's not that it's not her tit shape or anything. It's just like the hair wasn't right.
It's just like some fitness model. It's like some hot or some porn star or something.
Sure,
but I don't think she did nudes. She wouldn't be nude in movies. Although at the end, when she's captured and tied up, you could see her hard nipples very clearly.
I did see hard nipples.
Yeah, so the movie does
that. When they're running out of the house and it's on fire, hard nipples. But then Dolph's like holding the gun in front of her nipples like for the rest of the movie. You'll be very upset to be like, hey, you know what, nipples? Nope, Dolph's there, cock blocking all the horny viewers.
Yeah. There are lots of tits in this movie.
Plenty. Like if you're looking for tits and explosions and shooting, this is the one. I thought I turned off this dang phone.
Yeah, Russ, what the fuck? So yeah, the first scene is basically Kenner breaks up this like illegal karate fight club, and we get to know this guy Tanaka, and then Tanaka's being overtaken by these Yakuza guys coming in from Japan, and the first scene where Johnny Murata, Brandon Lee's character, meets Dolph Lundgren. He's eating in a sushi place when the Yakuza come in and strong arm the owner. That's a pretty great scene too, because he's like flirting with the old Asian lady.
Right.
And he's all like, "Is that an offer?" And she's like, "No, my pussy too big for you."
It would my dick would be like a hot dog in a hallway.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Totally emasculating. I would. You're right. I have to turn you down.
Yeah, and I don't know what's up when they go to the bonsai club and it's like all the women on tables naked
with the sushi.
Yeah, so is that like a real thing?
I'm hoping. I mean, I'm hoping not, actually, because raw fish off like a human sweaty body. Well, first off, you're going to be heating up the sushi. Like, I don't want heated sushi.
Yeah.
I want it on a cold plate, staying cold. Fresh, not like, off a chick's vagina. This isn't Sada Abe. I'm not dipping an egg into a pee hole. I'm eating sushi.
No, it doesn't seem sanitary. And when you have like a 1980s porn star on her back on a table, her fake breasts inevitably slide into her armpit. And it's just kind of awkward. It just doesn't seem like it would really work that great. But the Japanese businessmen in the scene seem to love it. So
they're into it. I mean,
And all the while, Tia Carrera is like singing this weird song.
Yeah,
I need a lover with soft hands. Something like that.
Soft hands, yeah. Use lots of
so
lotion.
fucking weird.
Yeah, it's like be really slow, but also I'm pretty sure it's a sexual song. She's trying to say "fuck me," but also not so fast, there, Mister. I think, might be a characteristic.
Well, they're trying
of her.
to establish she's not a whore.
Right.
She won't take her clothes off. She's like the prestigious woman. There's gonna be the love interest, obviously.
Even when the Yakuza guy's like,
but
hey.
then fucking the Yoshida character, I guess, rapes her, or that's at least implied that he's raping her.
Yeah, I think he definitely rapes her
with his soft cock,
right.
which is just like he just makes her look at his soft cock,
which is essentially rape.
Yeah, and she's terrified. Yeah.
And that gets him hard?
I guess so.
And does he come?
No, he's
or
like,
does he like
he's
come
like
while
raping
soft?
her, and he shows her the video of him killing her friend.
Right. He was into that. Right?
That's some Saw shit, dude.
Yeah. Why is he so twisted? What did she ever do to him? She just sang at a club, right? He owns the club. Did he own the club?
Yeah, he took over the club from Tanaka, the dude that he kills in the beginning.
And then he goes over, he brings her flowers, and she's like, "No, I'm not that kind of chick." And then he takes her home. He grabs her and he brings her up to a bedroom and he shows her the video of him murdering the chick. And then and then we assume they do it, or she maybe just cries. He gets his rocks
seems
off
like
that way.
he rapes her, which is pretty harsh. Like, this dude is fucking brutal.
Yeah,
he'll like kill his henchmen. He'll fucking rape women.
He'll cut the hand off a drug dealer he's doing a deal with.
Let's talk about that scene honestly, because that shit is fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene where he's like talking to all the different gangs. And he's like trying to establish that he's in charge now or whatever.
He's gonna sell him the meth in the beer bottles.
And one of the white like fucking Hell's Angels dudes was like, "Listen here, slant head, we ain't taking orders from you." And he just like chops his fucking arm off with a sword.
The guy had it coming.
Yeah,
we don't take kindly to racists.
And I guess slant head is a derogatory term for Asians.
Is it? Because I mean, I'm not gonna get into it on a podcast, but.
Oh, okay. I guess so.
I don't know.
It's pretty great. He fucks the dude up. He wins the situation.
Exactly.
And then all the like homies and the vatos fall in line. They're like, "Oh yeah, 20% homes." Then he's like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Russ is looking at me like I shouldn't make that voice.
I don't know how to. I can't make racist jokes. I don't know
it's not. I didn't say anything racist.
No. You just put it on an accent. I guess I don't know. Accents are accents racist? That's a whole other conversation. Is Brandon Lee? I mean, that here racism.
Brandon Lee does a racist impersonation of a white dude throughout the film. Nobody gets mad at that.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. He's being very white. I didn't even realize that's Brandon Lee. Like, I've only really ever seen him as the Crow, and his face is all painted. And it was halfway through the movie before I like looked it up on like.
Yeah, that's what was the selling point of this movie. It didn't have like a wide theatrical release. It was like kind of a fucking failure.
Oh,
and it mostly was like found on VHS. I remember seeing it on VHS as a kid.
I think that is because Warner Brothers hated the movie. They thought at first the original script was much darker, and then they got a rewrite for Warner Brothers to pick it up.
Ooh, let's cut for a sec. Also, there's a really hilarious point like halfway through this movie where Brandon Lee's character is like, all right, we're going to do this by the books. And then they just like kill like 9 people. Like they murder like 9 people and like set houses on fire. And like
They run away from crime scenes and they're like,
yeah,
just leave mayhem. It would not be.
So it's typically like terribly written buddy cop movie. Obviously, they're trying to make like a Lethal Weapon type thing.
Right.
Which I think everybody was trying to do when they tried to make buddy cop movies in the early 90s.
After Lethal Weapon, every buddy cop movie,
well, it was
be
stale.
Weapon,
It was like a thing from the 80s that had already kind of run its course. Mm-hmm. You know, with like Midnight Run and all those movies.
Sure, yeah.
And now it's just like...
Well, now we're 1991.
Yeah.
And,
well, Lethal Weapon were the only ones that people were really interested in. And then like Rush Hour, they started kind of turning to a different thing where it was like a big...
Sure. Well, I mean, what year was Rush Hour? It was later. 90s,
I think it was like 98 or something. It kind of revitalized the buddy cop formula.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Well, that's because it brought the kung fu spin. I mean, this I guess has kung fu spin added to it. It's Lethal Weapon with kung fu and yet less yammering. You know, Lethal Weapon's all about like, oh, Riggs, we're just talking, and the scene isn't scripted, and we're just hearing the thing. And Raj, I'm gonna shoot that guy. I'm gonna shoot him good. We're not.
I think it's a lot better though. This movie kind of like the plot to this movie kind of sucks. Brandon Lee's not bad at acting. He's kind of good, but the lines suck. It's not very funny.
Right.
And his character feels very flat. He doesn't even really feel like a cop.
No, you don't know. I didn't know what he was.
He never talks about like clues or anything. He's just fucking making stupid jokes and fighting people.
Doing backflips.
And it's like, he's the comic relief, and Dolph Lundgren is like the serious character.
Right. Who gets the love interest.
Yeah, and his parents were murdered, so he's like personally invested in the bad guy.
Right, sure. Stupid.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, just like you're saying, all the tropes. You just hit them, you line them up, knock them down, and it's really just an excuse to shoot people. I think it was TNT was said, this was one of their best like reviewed movies on TV. They played it a lot because of that.
Oh, really?
But because you can kind of come into any point and not feel like you've missed
all this
anything.
movie is scenes of Brandon Lee and Dolph Lundgren going somewhere and getting into fights with people.
Yeah. Shooting them and then hand to hand or like foot to face combat.
Yeah, there's really no plot.
Some knife fighting.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting and there's guns.
Sticks? Do they do sticks? They do metal rods. I think they yank off the side of yank it off of the scaffolding they're on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I love when they go to Dolph Lundgren's fucking apartment or his house that he built. And it's like a little Asian like bungalow. Because this 9-foot tall man wants to sleep on a fucking little futon
with rice paper walls and
yeah. It makes total sense.
Take off your shoes.
It's definitely not a set.
No, it couldn't be. I mean, they blow it up.
Oh, do they?
Oh, they light it on fire. So
yeah.
I think
I mean, that was made out of fucking paper. It probably went up pretty easy. It's a paper mache fucking apartment.
Yeah, exactly. They built it out in a field for like $200.
Yeah. The electrocution scene is pretty ridiculous.
Oh yeah, where they have like it's not just like electrodes attached to their nipples. They're like what's that called? Acupuncture.
Yeah, it's like little tiny
needles.
acupuncture needles. It doesn't even really look like you'd get shocked that bad.
Hey, it's
like put some fucking car batteries.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
Fucking testicles or something.
That would seem more.
And then
intense.
like the guy gets shocked by just like touching him, like contact from the skin.
Oh yeah, is that what happened?
Happen.
I thought he should have been carrying a glass of water and like spilled it onto himself or something. And would if he's grabbing the contact, wouldn't they all get burnt up?
They piss on him. They piss.
Yeah, there
and
you
their
go.
piss stream goes to him and
Goes
shocks
to him,
him.
right.
Yeah.
See, that would make sense.
Because we've already established that Dolph Lundgren's character has a massive cock.
Penis. It's like it's probably laying on the floor behind the guy already.
Yeah,
the guy doesn't see it coming.
You feel bad for Tia Carrera when she got raped by Yoshida, but she
man.
couldn't walk for 3 weeks after that night in the hot tub with Dolph Lundgren.
That's why she's dragged around by everybody for the rest of the movie. She can't stand up. She's just like floored.
Yeah. And this movie, it has like the most cliche karate montage
Oh yeah,
I've ever seen. It's like him putting on a fucking headband. It's like, what year is this? Is this 1986?
Yeah, that's after they get the car chewed up. They're like, all right, we can go kick their ass, or we can montage real quick.
Yeah.
Watch me work out in my room. There's not time, dude. Your girlfriend was like stolen, and they're chopping off pieces of people's, drug dealers' bodies. Like,
your girlfriend's getting raped by an impotent Japanese man as we speak, and you're putting on a fucking headband and a gi.
And getting all oily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bummer that, like, this is, like, one of the best Brandon Lee movies that he was able to make before he died.
It really is a shame because I think the guy could have had more in his career. Like you're saying, if he is really that much better, I watched an interview with him where he was like, he was saying he isn't the choreographer, but he would like to be more in charge of his stuff in later films. And so, yeah,
there are films where you can see how talented he is as a martial artist.
Mm-hmm.
This one, the choreography's not great. It's shot okay and it's directed okay, but the karate's not really great. And there's definitely, films with Brandon Lee where you can see how talented he was and what potential he had. And unfortunately, he didn't live too much long after this. I think he died in like 93.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a bummer. That's only like 2 years.
Yeah. But Dolph Lundgren's still out there swinging that massive cock around.
Yeah. Along with Stallone.
Stallone will never die.
Yeah. No, he's that man has too much plastic.
Yeah.
Plastic and steroids just keeps that man going.
Yeah.
It's his lifeblood.
Yeah, he's more steroids than he is man at this point.
The Expendables.
Yeah.
Those are interesting movies, but we're not here to talk about those.
It's kind of crazy to get shot on a set without Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Well,
who? Yeah, Brandon Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were the circumstances behind the code, by the way, while we're talking about Brandon Lee?
I don't know. I'm not an expert, but from what I've heard, the gun was kept in a safe. And, when you're using a gun on a movie, there's bullets that are blanks that just have gunpowder in them. And there's bullets that are just slugs for close-ups of loading the gun and to see if there's a bullet in the chamber.
Mm-hmm. So
those are the two halves of a bullet. If you put those together, like if you put a slug in a gun and then you put a blank in it, it now has a bullet and gunpowder. So it's basically like having a real bullet. And I think it was something like that where they forgot they put a slug in it and then they put a blank
one
in
the
it.
Chamber.
And there was and they murdered a great actor while they were filming. And it was such a fuck up. Like they shot him. They thought he was acting when he was laying there, and they're like, "Why isn't he getting up?" It's because they really shot him, and he died. Pretty soon after that, I think.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did they?
All for the Crow, a very shitty movie.
Yeah.
Like not even a good film.
I mean, what about this Alec Baldwin thing? While we're talking about people getting shot.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie. It hasn't come out. It might not come out. Who knows?
It probably won't come out.
Is it going to be good? Was it worth it? Was it worth any? You know what? It's weird that.
Well, what's hilarious about it is that Hollywood's very anti-gun, and they're fucking hypocrites. If they wanted to stop making movies with guns where people are shooting guns and making it look glorified, they could do that, but they don't because it makes them tons of fucking money.
And it's an easy drama ad. Guns. Yeah. As soon as you introduce a gun is a machine that kills. It's life or death. As soon as a gun is in the room.
Well, I'm not trying to say guns shouldn't be in movies. I just
no, for sure. But I am saying, like you're saying, yeah, it's glorified. It's like the way to solve your problems is through shooting every bad guy.
Yeah.
Guns are gonna defeat other guns because you have more skill in guns. Is kind of the message.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder when I watch Showdown in Little Tokyo if the Yakuza would use guns like that. I guess they would.
Just like spraying Uzis and stuff.
Yeah.
This is LA based Yakuza,
Yeah, this is like 90s LA. They got to like exist in this gang.
They're trying to sell meth, like big rock crystal meth.
Also, I think meth was like the scary drug in the 90s. Like crack was the scary drug in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, meth.
It's the new one,
Yeah.
It's new and exciting, and it makes your teeth fall out. And, it doesn't. You see people who look like they were on meth. And it's because, one, they stopped taking care of their teeth. They just stop taking care of your teeth. Okay. It definitely builds up. Like meth definitely builds up. It's like a plastic, right? It's like horrible. But it builds up on your teeth, and it can definitely promote tooth rot. But if you're brushing it away and you're not just eating sugar or just not eating or like whatever you're doing, You definitely have gum issues, but not as bad as the 3-month people who look like they're a frog because their mouth closes.
Okay, so it's not like your teeth are like burning out from like smoking the
yeah
pipe or some
it's
shit.
because you're doing bad things to your teeth, and then you're just not taking care of your teeth on top of it. You're busy like spending all your money buying meth and doing meth, and then playing with yourself or whatever the fuck you're going to be doing on meth.
Is that what you do when you're on meth?
Counting your hair follicles or some shit.
Yeah, putting tinfoil on the windows.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the guy who plays Tetsu in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, that's where I saw that guy.
Yeah, that dude fucking rules. And from what I know, I think he's like a master swordsman.
Okay. Mustache, bald guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very recognizable from TNMT. He's pretty dope.
Yep. Master swordsman, you say?
Yeah.
It's
like you see him in roles. He never really talks much. He has like one line in this movie. Yeah, I don't know about in this movie, but in general, yeah, I think that's what his whole pull into the industry was. Okay. But I think he has one line in this movie where he's like, "Mr. Yoshida wants to see you," and that's like basically it.
Well, there you go. Get that on screen. That.
Russ is very uncomfortable right now, guys. Just to explain, I'm not white. Okay, I'm ethnic.
Yes.
I'm what you call a POC, and Russ is white, so he's what you call a POS. So I can do this, okay? He can't, but I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And just in case, I'm not going to say my last name on this podcast.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm Canadian, so it's fine.
Yeah, but you're like a Canadian Native American.
Right? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Dolph.
What about him?
I don't know. Let's see.
Honestly, like Dolph Lundgren's performance in this movie, it's like he's getting better. Like you could see him in older movies, he's not as good.
Mm-hmm.
I think really in the late 80s is when he kind of got decent as an actor. Before that, he was pretty bad.
Because he was in Hercules. When was The Punisher? Punisher was after
Not
this?
Hercules, He-Man.
He-Man, yeah.
And He-Man's a fucking piece of shit. But as a kid, I was like, oh, He-Man, I just thought that was like a good movie. That was like one of my favorite movies as a kid.
He does a lot of swordplay?
I guess
Does a lot of kicking?
He-Man is basically like a really shitty fish out of water story where it's like an alien goes to Earth. But let's not talk about He-Man too much.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just saying that, like, as a kid, I thought like He-Man, that's just a real movie.
Mm-hmm.
Showdown Little Tokyo, this is like a real movie. I didn't realize they were shitty fucking B movies.
Right. That they're just made to sell some tickets.
That they were like unsuccessful garbage. I thought like, oh yeah, this is like the best movie there is.
Well, again, I mean, I think this was unsuccessful. Yeah, right. It's because you see it on VHS in every store. It's like, oh wow, this is what's available. This has got to be good. No, it's just what.
Yeah.
It's what's in the bargain bin that you're picking out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, me and my brother at this point were pretty into like Jean-Claude Van Damme films.
Sure. He had what was it? Double Impact in 91. In fact, it was released at the beginning of August.
Yeah. Right.
This movie came out at the end of August. So they had a Jean-Claude Van Damme buddy cop movie at the beginning of the month. Mm-hmm. And obviously this movie was limited release, so it actually wasn't even like full everywhere. But I think that's why. I think that's a number of reasons why it didn't do good, is because everyone's burned out. They're still watching the Jean-Claude movie by the end of the month. It's only been 2 weeks. So who wants to watch another like buddy cop film? And on top of that, fucking Jean-Claude, dude. He's playing him in his twin brother. Yeah. How could you know? I'm not going to not watch that.
Yeah, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yes. That's great. Yeah, this was a flop. Lundgren ended up having a hit shortly after this with Universal Soldier.
Okay.
And that kind of cemented him as like a serious guy because he had a string of flops before that.
Sure.
And that's a good movie.
I haven't seen Universal Soldier. But...
Oh, okay. You should check that out. I think it's Roland Emmerich.
Oh, wow. All
right.
Well, sweet. Yeah, and then I guess he kind of maintained this action star role, and he kind of fell out of movies until he's kind of come back as an old geezer with the Expendables movies.
Yeah, I guess he kind of a lot of these guys they kind of fell out of favor towards the late 90s.
That's because the action movie died. Yeah,
well then they kind of came back as nostalgia figures.
Sure.
And now like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren are doing movies again, and Steven Seagal just kind of kept making shit and shittier shit in Russia.
after his fall.
Yeah, he just makes like garbage movies.
He's in a band
overseas.
too.
He's in a band.
Yeah.
Well, he now likes to cosplay as a black man in Louisiana, which I think is interesting.
Oh, that is.
Have you seen his show Lawman?
No, is that what?
Dude, if you think my voices are bad, like the way he talks nowadays is just very offensive.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, he thinks he's like a black blues musician.
Okay.
It's
Well,
embarrassing.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, you'll have to check out Lawman.
Seagal. Speaking of Seagal, actually, David Michael Frank, the composer for this movie, did a couple of Seagal films: Hard to Kill, Above the Law. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. I mean, that's not a Seagal.
Oh, okay,
film.
yeah, the parody film. Yeah, the score in this is fine. It's it feels kind of cheap because there's like no orchestra or like a lot of real instruments in it. It's like a lot of electronic.
But at the same time, I think the guitar is pretty rocking. I think it hits those synth-like, shitty action notes pretty.
It feels like you're
solid.
watching a shitty 90s action movie or like a shitty 90s porn.
Yeah. Who knows which one?
Yeah.
Either way, it's...
I don't think the cast knew which one.
It actually was filmed as a porn, and that's all the minutes they cut off. It was 90 minutes originally.
That's why it's only 80 minutes long. They cut out a half an hour of Dolph Lundgren's cock.
Yeah, exploding things.
Yeah.
Shooting all the bad guys. It actually, they had to reshoot and put guns into their hands, but it was actually Dolph Lundgren's ejaculate destroying all those bad guys.
Yeah. No, it's true. They brought in Steven Spielberg and they replaced Dolph Lundgren's penis with guns throughout the film to make it more family friendly.
Because Spielberg was specifically, he replaced those. Personally, he replaced those walkies.
Well, that's kind of his thing. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, so have you seen Class of 99 or 1985?
No, I haven't seen those films. I haven't seen a lot of Mark Lester's movies. I haven't seen Firestarter.
Mm-hmm. With, what's her name?
Drew Barrymore.
Barrymore, yeah. Super young.
You know, before she was like doing coke and getting gangbanged.
Getting high with aliens.
Yeah. So I haven't seen a lot of his films. I definitely saw Commando, which is like a sincere action film. Kind of the peak, I think, of like sincere dumb action movies.
Yeah, I think after that, with Predator in like '87, it started becoming more self-aware.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think
Commando is just completely dumbed down.
Yeah, it's like this guy's got to save his daughter.
Yeah,
that's one of his daughter.
They establish like this relationship with the daughter very quickly. It's like big stupid Arnold Schwarzenegger eating ice cream with a child. I think it's like Alyssa Milano who's like he's like dumping fucking ice cream on her nose and shit. It's so stupid, and it's just very predictable and
yeah.
Arnold's
noises are like the best part of his movie.
Yeah, and the best thing about Arnold movies is his name is always like, my name is John Smith, and it's like he has this fucking ridiculous heavy accent.
Fake name, yeah.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
He's American. Didn't you know? That's how he became the governor.
Yeah,
That's
he
why
grew up in Pennsylvania, obviously.
Yeah, let's see. What else do I know about these guys? The Double Impact. Oh, Double Impact cost 15 to 16 million, and it made about 30 million at the box office. This movie cost about 8 million, and it made 2.3 million at the box office.
Yeah, it's pretty low budget. It's
actually,
it's enough of a budget that it looks decent. It's got decent cinematography and stuff.
Honestly, for what it is, for what they did, it's got all the spectacle and action an 80s action movie should have, but none of the heart a good movie should have.
Yeah. It just feels like it could have been developed a lot better, and like I don't really buy a lot of the relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun to watch.
Yeah. Those are the things.
Gets the job done.
How many stars?
I give it 3 stars.
Out of 10?
Out of 17.
The number of bullets that Kenner shoots out of his 9-bullet gun.
Yeah.
17.
I give it a 9 for the inches in Dolph Lundgren's penis.
Oh, okay. I give it yeah. I'm gonna be really critical. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Just middle of the road. If you want a fine action movie, there you go. You can come away. You can come back and be like, well, that was offensive and cool, but there you go.
Yeah, it's a good movie because it's like quick and fun if you want to like watch it with your friends while you're like drinking or smoking weed.
That's the thing. It doesn't take. It's not too long where I'm like, just get it over with. This movie's so dumb and too long. Whereas it's just like it's dumb and it's fine because it's one and done and it keeps the pace going. Bam.
Yeah, for sure.
Little Tokyo,
brother.
Anything else you want to say about it?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, like I said, very formulaic and nothing too original here, but worth a watch. I did think it was kind of funny that like every Japanese character in this film is like an inch away from committing suicide.
Oh yeah.
Like they break a dish and they're ready to cut their guts out with a samurai sword.
As is tradition in Japan.
Exactly.
I mean,
If you dishonor a Japanese man, if you step on his sneaker or something, he will literally cut his fucking guts out in front of you.
yeah, I dated a Japanese chick, and this one time, not one time, anytime she, I can't think of any bad joke.
Okay. Right.
She was great. I liked her a lot.
Maybe we'll cut it off there. I think Russ is tapped. Anything else you want to say about Showdown Little Tokyo, Russ?
They got to use their muscles a bunch, shiny muscles.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren's character is the most respected man in Little Tokyo, and he's really earned his respect among the Japanese people.
Yeah. Also, he's an unstoppable tank. You can shoot him through the chest, and he'll still keep fighting you with a sword.
Mm-hmm.
And you can shock him with an electric thing, but if you touch the same electric thing, you die.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny that the name of their unit is the Asian Task Force.
Okay.
You think that was a real thing?
Wait, Dolph and
yeah, Brandon Lee character is like Asian Task Force.
Just maybe he made it up.
Yeah,
him and Dolph, they were like, this will be.
Yeah, really great writing.
Unless I think cops might have used to have that.
Yeah, that could have been a '90s thing.
Yeah, you cops, you watch the Asians. You see anything going on with the Asians? You take care of that. That's your crimes. You gotta deal with. Your responsibility. Okay, Asian Task Force, please.
Yeah. So this is one of the last movies that Brandon Lee did before The Crow.
Okay. Well, that's again. How many movies did he even really do?
I don't know, probably like a half dozen or something. Not too many.
Sure. I mean, he was what, eight and a half when his father passed away, so he never really got involved with movies while his father was involved with movies, and he never really did karate with his dad either, because he was like,
yeah, right. You don't really think about that, but he died so young, like he really didn't know his dad that well.
Yeah,
and I think he was more interested in acting, but he kind of saw the martial arts as an in for him because of his dad's name, but he really wanted to do more like acting. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Maybe I got to rewatch The Crow. I do think that Brandon Lee is pretty good in this, and he does show promise as an actor. Like, he's a charming guy. It's just the script kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm. Strong chin. Both those guys. I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Strong chin, strong forehead, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Lee's fucking forehead is massive.
Probably rivals his chin.
Yeah.
That's why his chin looks so big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know, man. I guess we can cut it off there. I don't really have too much more to say about Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Yeah, I think... again, we gave the reviews. That's the movie. If you want to check it out, enjoy Dolph and Brandon kick some butt. Shoot some guns. See some titties. Eat some sushi.
Yeah, check out Tia Carrera. She's hot. And there's lots of tits in the movie.
Hey, and when we're done here, we're going to go eat sushi off those naked chicks.
Yeah. That is a great line. I think we can end off there, pal. Yep. All right, guys. So we'll see you next week with another shitty movie. And, stay well.
Yeah, listen to us, Len.